Welcome, everyone. It's nice to be back. It's only been about a month and a half, but feels like a long time to have been away, so it's nice to be back in the St. Paul's community and to be able to celebrate with you folks this morning as we celebrate National Indigenous Month and National Indigenous Day from a couple of days ago. We are blessed again to have John Rice and Aaron Dixon, and I don't know your name, Laura Jean as well too. Laura Jean has just been recruited into the into the mix. So I wanted first to acknowledge Creator's blessing in offering us this beautiful land and the waters and this sacred place for us to celebrate the abundance of creation, and to acknowledge the first peoples, the many nations who have lived on this land and tended it as stewards of this land and waterways. We acknowledge that they have brought us great wisdom. We acknowledge as newcomers to this land that our ways have sometimes and more often than not been harmful to the first peoples, and so we acknowledge the harm that we have done to those peoples. We seek a new path of reconciliation and being together in this, on these lands and waterways together. This ceremony is an opportunity for us to come together and share in ceremony together. And so I would like to offer tobacco to you, John, for leading in this, and to you, Aaron. And I'm sorry, I didn't know you have some tobacco. And I would invite your leadership as we come into this ceremony together. You have your own.
Am I on?
Yep.
So, miigwetski bajak kenawea, gitchinendam nongum, getnin miigwetchinendam. So thank you for coming here today for this ceremony we're going to share. I'm really grateful for this opportunity again in the second year. I keep forgetting when I'm here, when I'm walking this way, I'm walking uphill. So I just want to thank you again for coming, and we're going to share in this ceremony this week. This year we're going to do a little more participation than we did last year, because our ceremonies were done by the people. I know we have people who are gifted with the knowledge of how to do things and how to instruct people to do them in a good way. But back in the day, we all did things together. It was all a ceremony of the community that would come together. So today we're going to do a little more with a little more participation. So at times we're going to invite some of you to come up and help us with this, because it is our Gojijing, it's our lake, it's our water, it's our sacred way of being. So we're going to do it this way, a little more inclusive this year. We're going to ask people to help us spread out the colors first, to put the colors down. Usually Aaron and I do that before we start, but we're going to invite people to come up and do that. And then we're going to do the speaking for the, well, I'll start with a song, why we're here today. And it's about the water, and it's about the tears that we carry as human beings, how important it is to release them from time to time. And it's the water that we say that teardrops are the rain that cleans your heart of sorrow and grief. So even though this is a water ceremony, this is also a grieving ceremony. If there are things you need to let go of at this time, and with our water, we always give it to the water. We give it to the lake, we give it to the river. That's who carries our grief away from us. So you could say the first half of this ceremony has to attend to our grieving as human beings. And then the second part of the ceremony is bringing well wishes to the water, to bring the cleansing to the water, the health to the water that our spirits can bring. So we're going to do, it's in two parts. But in the first part, how we talk about it is, before the human beings were created, the Creator created four elements. Ishkode, or Gizis, the sun, was the first thing she created. And then the next thing she created was Akikwe, the earth. And we have them here, these little beings in here, these little rocks, or we call them Asinabek. The stone beings is what we call them. They're an ancient race that have been here since the beginning of time. They've seen many things and they're here for us in all ways. And then later on in the creation story, the tree, Matikanabek, the tree beings came and they look after us as human beings. Those two beings look after us, and we're using them in the ceremony today. So what we're going to be doing is a bundle offering. A number of years ago, there was an incident that happened at Christian Island where the people were on the ferry and they saw all these dead fish come to the surface. They said it was just like a horror movie. So our teacher came from Wisconsin and he brought this ceremony back to us to do it to keep the water clean. What's happened in Georgian Bay, it's we call it Manadawe Zagayagan, the spirit lake we call it, because it has a giant whirlpool. And that lake keeps itself clean. And we might know it of Georgian Bay as the sixth great lake, but it's the cleanest one because it keeps itself clean. What had happened over time with the phosphates from the farming, as they washed into the sacred lake, that whirlpool was starting to slow down. And they say those things were floating to the bottom of the lake, and that's what killed those fish, were those phosphates and those fertilizers. So our teacher brought back this ceremony to do, the very first one. And when we did that ceremony, it made that lake clean again. So we try to do this as much as we can. In my being, as someone who does things, I try to do this ceremony as many times as I can and wherever I can. So we're doing it here again this year, to put the bundle into Lake Kuchiching, as we say in English, but Gojijing in the language. Gojijing means a safe harbor, a safe place to be. And that's what we try to do when we get together as human beings. Today we're in a safe place. It's Gojijing, the spirit of Manado, Gojijing in here. That very lake that we live by. And that's what we call a bioregion. So we're going to do this ceremony here today. And I'm going to start off with this song to honor us as human beings. This song says, "Who are the kind-hearted ones? Who are the strong-hearted ones?" It says, those ones who came from the sky world. Because in our creation story, that's where us humans came from, the sky world. So that's what this song says. I'm going to open this ceremony with this song. And then we're going to begin with a smudge. And then after that, we're going to start putting the colors down. And I'll explain how we do that. And then after that, we're going to ask you all to come and pick up a grandfather. And then what you can do is you can put your words about someone you miss, someone you wish had a good life, or even some other grief you may carry, that you put it in that grandfather. And you'll be welcome to put it down on the cloths once they're laid out. And as many as you need today, we invite you to do that. And many griefs that you carry, loved ones, and other things. So I'm going to send this song out to start. I have to sit down because I get dizzy when I sing. Just kidding. No, I do. Oh, my drum is flat.
Awe
awe wene mene weane, awe wene mene weane, awe wene mene weane, anishna bege mene weane, awe wene mene weane, awe wene mene weane, oh, awe wene mene weane, awe wene mene weane, awe wene mene weane, awe wene mene weane, anishna bege mene weane, awe wene mene weane, awe wene mene weane, oh, awe wene mene weane, 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 anishna bege mene weane, awe wene mene weane, awe wene mene weane. So a long time ago, longer than we can even imagine, there was this being. It existed all by itself. That was the one who became the creator. That was the one who became Gitchamanado, the great mystery. But it lived by itself in a time of eternal darkness, in the sound of 1,000 shakers, it said. And what happened, it had this thought. This being wondered, is there anybody like me, is what it thought. And that thought went out everywhere. And they say that's the beginning thought of creation. That's what started creation happening. Because after that, it came to know that it could create something like itself. So that's what began. It created the ball of fire in the sky, Akikwe, Nebe, water, and then Neswin, the breath. Those 4 elements, fire, earth, water, and air. It created those. And then it created all the living forms in this creation. Everything as it was being created, that one waited for whatever was being created to say, I'm just like you. But it wasn't until the human beings came along that we answered that question. We're the ones who answered that question. We're the ones who say to the Creator, I'm just like you. And all the forms that the Creator gave us to pray to the Creator, or pray to the spirits, pray to the ancestors, all the different forms around this world, the Creator gave to us to speak to her. We say that's how we answer that question. Every time you pray, you're saying to the Creator, I'm just like you. That's what we're saying. So we say the human beings were the answers to that question. We're the ones who answer that. We say we're just like you, Gitchamanado. We're the ones who you've been looking for, and we're here. But this doesn't mean creation is over. If this is only halfway through creation, we have as much way to go. We remember our ancestors, the Bay Mesa Jigajig, the dinosaurs. They were here for 160 million years. So we have that life expectancy to look forward to. Maybe we'll be here as long as they are, or they were. So when we think about ourselves and we talk to the Creator, we think in terms of our longevity, not only as in our individual lives, but as a species and a race. So we're thinking about that today as we sing. So this next song is going to be for those ones who look after us. Asinabek, the tree of rock people, Matikanabek, the tree people, the water people and the air beings. Is what this song is going to acknowledge in this ceremony. I'm going to send this out next, and then we'll do a smudge, and then we'll begin with our ceremony. So pay attention, things are going to happen really fast. Erin's an educator. She works at a university. So when she points at you, you got to answer right away. No, I'm just kidding. She's not like that. I'm like that. So this song, think of our ancestors, the four elements of the earth. Asenabe, 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 matekenabe, 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 matekenabe. Nebekweyak, 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 nebekweyak. Neswen manado, neswen manado, neswen manado, neswen manado, hwea, hweo, wehaya, 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 I forgot to introduce myself. I always do that. Anyway, in the language, Bojo, Zagaski, Nishnakas, Makonendo, dem, Wasakting Bunjaba, Ojibwe, Potawatomi, meanwhile, Bungi, Scottish, Nen, Dao. So my Ojibwe name is Zagaski, which means a sun ray. In my grandmother's vision, she saw a ray of sunlight go across the sky before the sun came up. In my community of Wasakting, I'm Bear Clan. Bear Clan people are the protectors of the children, and they're also the medicine people. And my community of Wasakling is north of here, near Perry Sound. It's that place that shines in the distance, it's called. So my father was Potawatomi, my mother was Ojibwe, and her great-grandmother was Scottish, from Scotland. She was an orphan that came over here and ran away and lived with our people and then intermarried. And her daughter, my grandmother Lucy, was my main teacher in my life. So that's who I am. So we're going to start off with a smudge now, and then we're going to begin our ceremony. So after I do the smudge and we send that around, Aaron and I forget your name. Lori Jean are going to do the water for us. This is the important why we're here, is for the water. We don't have time to do a full smudge, so I'm going to do a drive-by smudge, okay? I'm just going to bring it around and smudge the circle. And I say much for your patience in that. He wants to help me.
Yes, he does. Sorry, got too Be good.
So we smudge, this is what we call a spiritual cleansing. We said that you were born as a newborn infant, you were perfect. You were a perfect spirit, you're a perfect human being. And they say in your first breath of life, you breathed in everything that the Creator was gifting you. But they say life, the way it is, because everything in life has free will, we say that life throws mud on your spirit. So when you were young as a child, you ran, you laughed, you played, you were free with your emotions, you cried. They say the mud wouldn't stick to you. And that's a lesson to us, eh? We should try to be childlike our whole life. Nothing will stick to us, eh? It's how we talk about it. So our greatest teachers are the children, and we give them thanks for that. So in the smudging ceremony, that's what we're doing, is we're letting the mud that might have fallen upon us this morning. Maybe this morning your cornflakes got soggy. So this will lift that off of you. Tomorrow they'll stay nice and crispy for you. So we begin our ceremony with this so that we can be of a good mind and in a good place where we're all of one. And like we said, this is our ceremony we're performing here this morning. We're all adding to this. Our spirits are putting into this. So in your life, the way you are, the beautiful way you look at life, you're going to make our lake cleaner in this ceremony. That's the purpose of this ceremony, is to purify the lake and make it strong. And you're doing this in your participation. So we say miigwech to you again. So I'm going to turn it over to Aaron and Laura Jean now to do the water part. And then we're going to begin with the colors. So I just got to warn you that no bad intentions, but sometimes I get impatient. Because when I want to do a ceremony, it has to be done right. So I might get snappy. You're welcome to snap back if I get snappy. And that way, at the end of the day, we can tell people we had a snappy ceremony. That's because my name is Rice, eh? Remember Rice Krispies? They snack, they crackle, and they pop.
Well, first I just want to give thanks to Laura Jean for standing us up and standing and lifting up the water for us. And I know that everyone here, we take care of each other, we take care of the land, we take care of so many different elements to renew and to move forward or transition together. So, miigwech, Laura Jean. I did ask if she wanted to share any words before we share a few things and some songs together. So maybe I can hold the mic. Would that be?
Perfect. I'd like to say miigwech for Nibe, and to all the women in here, all the mothers, all the grandmothers. We carry our grandchildren the last 4 months of our pregnancy when we hold our daughters in our tummy. So it's 3 generations that we get to stand for 4 months. And so those waters are sacred. Water's precious. And as I took a walk yesterday down to Lake Gojijing, I saw that she was in great need of our love and our attention. With the new paving down there, that the diesel had been running into the lake and had been killing fish. And in turn, other animals are going to eat that fish, and they're going to die. It's terrible, the condition that she's in right now. And she needs our love and attention, so this ceremony comes at a very good time. So miigwech for coming in. Wow.
Miigwech, Laura Jean. I'll just share a few words. I'm grateful to be here. I know Elder Roseanne Irving was on the poster, the beautiful poster, and she had a surprise visit from her brother who has never come from the West Coast. So she sends her wishes, and I sort of wore this t-shirt on her behalf. It's one of those funny things you do. And it's a water walk that they did in Midland. All the youth, the students, the teachers were organizing, and they did prayers along the waters. And we gathered here for June 3rd, down at what used to be the monument. And at that time, Roseanne put out water bundles on top of it for grieving. And I remember when we were doing the dialogues at that time in the spirit of our relations, there was a woman who came to every single dialogue, and she researched the natures of monuments, and she said it was a triundant. And she talked about the entanglement of the economy, the church, and the state over, and the grief that that has caused people as opposed to the co-liberation that was at the heart of it. And that also causes a lot of grief and care. We continue to care for it and continue to care for different elements. So I just want to give thanks for all the young people and everyone who gathered there, and also to be welcomed into the center here. The vision to open up the spirit of this gathering place on this sacred ground, on these beautiful cultural grounds here in Midjikaning. We know that this place has a very powerful significance, and there's people doing work to lift up where we are. For those who haven't met me, I come from a mixed family, a braided family. I have just started to do work near Lesser Slave Lake in Alberta, where some of my family come from. The nations there are doing some water laws to interact with Canada's Clean Water Act that has many pieces to it. And I think I share that is because we all take care of so many elements, so many fires that we're caring for, to actually care for our life waters. It looks so different. So I just want to honor that now. And also, I'm thinking about Elder Lorraine McCrae, who I know for a long time has led ceremonies across the waters, and also for the moon ceremonies. We're in Odaman Gizis, which is the strawberry moon, and the moon for reconciliation, for attending to the heart, for letting things go. And I'm just learning about that, but I just wanted to honor the berries, our first berries that are here, and also just everyone's hearts here are gathered. I know that there's so many beautiful empty chairs, and we say that when one or two people gather, we gather for all of creation. We gather for everyone. Especially, I walked into the grocery store this morning, and there were 2 people sat outside looking for money for food. They were unhoused. And so I just wanted to honor all of those who might not be here, and the grief that they may or may not express that is also here at the center with all of us. So thanks for letting me take a few words. I'm going to share a water song, and we'll face maybe I think the east is here, yeah. And this water song is Algonquin, because we're in this beautiful Algonquin language landscape. I'll sing the ones that come from the women of Kittingan-Zibi, which just means all of the water of my vessel is all of the waters of creation. And after that, we wanted to open it up to if there's any other words or songs that want to be shared, as Agoske said, to create a shared ceremony. And I think Dan may follow us up with a song, and we'll see what happens after that. Let me gwitch everyone. What's that? East is this way? Oh, yeah. Thank you. Nibi wabo endahian ake misque nibi wabo wea heya heya hey wea heya heya hey nibi wabo endahian ake misque nibi wabo wea heya heya hey wea heya heya hey. Nibi wabo endahian, ake misque nibi wabo, wea heia heia he, wea heia heia he. Nibi wabo endahian, ake misque nibi wabo, wea heia heia he, wea heia heia ho. Kind of gonna scratch. Well, miigwech, Laura Jean. So we wanted to open up this circle. Once we were in the Beaver Valley doing this ceremony, and we actually had people from the Underground Railway, some songs, and we had songs from the church, from the community, and different people that had dreamed this ceremony had reached out to John. So we wanted to continue to bring this ceremony to life together. So is it Dan? Welcome you, miigwech, thank you. Should I bring the mic over there, or will it? Awesome. Oh, beautiful. Want me to hold it closer? It doesn't need it.
I'm not sure.
Okay. The mic's here as well. I can move it. Dan, that was so beautiful. For those of you who haven't heard Elder Lorraine sing that song, did you want to speak to it at all?
I heard her online and I asked her permission.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I can just share a bit of a story while we transition. When they were doing the Williams Treaty agreements and they were coming together, she was offered tobacco to sing a song at that time, and she had just written that song, "Do you see me? Do you hear me? And do you love me?" And so it was that honoring of creation. So,
When I was a little boy, one of my uncles had an accordion like that. He always told us if we put our fingers in the things there, he would chop our fingers off. That was his way of telling us to be careful with his accordion. Could you two do me a favor? Could you pass out the colors randomly? Those cloths out there, just pass them out randomly. Yeah. So you're being drafted into the ceremony if you receive one of these colors. Like I said, at one time our ceremonies were all communal. The community knew this. So I made the assumption you did this last year, so you should remember how it's done. So we're passing the colors out randomly, and in a minute I'll ask you to come up with someone beside you to help lay the color down on the ground. So we're putting this together as a community. And don't be shy. Aaron, Lori Jean, they'll help you stand back up if you get down and you can't get back up. So the first color we're going to call for is the color, the deep indigo one, the darkest purple one. If you could bring someone beside you to help you put it on the ground here. You'll put it right here. Maybe you guys could help out. Just lay it flat on the ground in a square. And you're going to hear this again when we put the bundle back together. This is the color of the space in between the spaces. In our teachings, we say that it's the color of love, Zagedowin. So the next color is black. Whoever has black, I want to bring it up. Black is the mystery. It's a Gitchamanado, the great mystery. That's our word for creator. Something we'll never understand, because each one of us has a manado, has a mystery. Collectively, we make the great mystery. Every human, every spirit is a piece of the Gitche Manado. Yeah, so that's what this one represents, is the Gitche Manado. So then the next color, if you have the color white. The color white is the color of water, and when it's in vapor, when it's snow, when it's ice. We say at the third level, the highest level above the earth before the crater is where the water level is. And it doesn't always exist in a liquid form. And then the next color is yellow. Yellow is Ananguka, the star realm, the color of the sun, the stars. That's the next color. We say that you know these colors because you came through these colors as before you were born, as you came to Earth. The rainbow and all of the colors that make up the rainbow aren't foreign to you. They're part of your journey here to life and part of your journey back home, is the way we look at it. Okay, then orange. Orange is the color of the new day. At the end of the day, sunset, sunrise. It's the beginning and the end of the day, that beautiful orange color. It's actually the color of life, as you will see. And the robin's breast in the springtime. He brings new spring. That's the next color. Okay, the color blue. Yep, yeah. That again, that honors that the starlight wasn't strong enough to do away with that eternal darkness, that little pieces of it still float around. And then the lighter blue. This is the sky, the color of the sky, Jesus, blue sky. Okay, then the color green. This is the plant life. The beautiful covering on our Mother the Earth right now, this time of year in the springtime. Ziegwin, spring, we call her. She brings this color back to our people. Color of life. Okay, now the color red. This is the color of our Mother the Earth. This is her color. Okay, do you want to fold that in half? Yeah, just like that. Yeah, good. Okay, now we're going to invite you to come up and get a little stone from the pail here. Come and grab a stone. And this is where you're thinking of someone. Maybe you're grieving for. Maybe you're thinking about an event that happened to you. We're going to invite you to come up now and grab a stone and sit with it for a few minutes, a few seconds.
I know, I'm like this.
Sometimes the trickster in me wants to do it scramble style, just throw it out.
It's like the drive-by smudge. Drive-by smudge.
Yeah. So you can take 1, 2, as many as you can think of. But spend some time with this little asin in Ojibwe, asin. Asinabi, it's a rock being. It will lift from you what you need to let go of. Ani nani nanamagoyan. Ani nani nanamagoyan. Ani nani nanamagoyan. Ani nani nanamagoyan. Hey. Ani nani nanamagoyan. Ani nani nanamagoyan. Ani nani nanamagoyan. Ani nani nanamagoyan. Hey. Ani nani nanamagoyan. 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 Hey. So spend some time with this asinabe. Put your good mind, your good heart, your good thoughts into this little one here. He's a helper. We've added a different touch this year. Last year, it was we had the color red up, our Mother the Earth. This year, with everything going on in the world, we wanted our color to be Zalgedouin. This year, that as human beings, that can be who we are. We can be love. And what's happening in the world, we can be reminded the Creator created us out of one love, to be one love, to be one human being. The Anishinaabe creation story talks about 4 colors of man. And it tells us that because we're intelligent beings, that we would be 4 different colors but one race, because we're intelligence. That tolerance is our gift. We're intelligent beings, is what we say. So we have the opening color here for our bundle here this way, Zalgedouin. And when you go forward from this place today, just ask you to put that in your memory. The water bundle you put together here this morning was based with Zalgedouin as the prime color here. This color you see on top of here. It's the space in between the spaces, we say. In the creation story, the Creator used Zalgedouin as the glue to creation. That's what holds creation together, is Zalgedouin. So in everything that comes from that we be kind beings, we be kind to each other. Keje, to be kindness, is from this color of love that we have for each other. So in your grandfather now that you're holding that, when you're ready, we're going to invite you to come and put it in the middle here. Put it in the middle of this bundle here. That's what we're going to be putting it back together now. That this mishomis, this nokmis that you're holding in your hand, with your kind heart, your kind energy, and your good minds, that we're going to put this together now in this bundle. So when you're ready, one at a time, two at a time, three at a time, just come up and put your grandfather in the middle of the cloth now. This song says, who are going to be the kind-hearted ones? And it says, the ones who came from the sky world are going to be the kind-hearted ones. The human beings, we're the kind-hearted ones. We-ah, we-da, we-ah, we-hey-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, hey-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, we-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, hey-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, hey-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, hey-hi-ah. We-da, we-hi-ah, we-ah, we-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, hey-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, we-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, we-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, hey-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, hey-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, we-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, hey-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, we-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, hey-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, hey-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, we-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, hey-hi-ah. 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 We-da, we-da, we-ah, we-hi-ah. We-da, we-da, we-ah, hey-hi-ah. We-ah, we-da, we-ah, hey-hi-ah. We-da, 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 we-da, we-ah, hey-hi-ah. When we're young and we're full of energy and we're full of life, we think in terms of greatness. So in our language, sometimes we say, Getchemanido, the great mystery. And when we're young and we're full of that energy, sometimes that's where our mind goes. But as we go through life and we experience life, when we see that there's kindness everywhere in life, sometimes we have to seek it out to see it. But when we look in our own hearts and we see the kindness of our own spirits, they say there comes a point in your life where you transition and you see it as Manido, the kind spirit. Usually people who are older, they think in that terms. Manido, the kind spirit, is how we transition as we get older, because we learn to see kindness everywhere. And this little mashomas or this nokmas that you put in this bundle, that's the kindness that we see everywhere. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring around strawberries. And we're going to ask you just to take a bite, because you're going to put the remainder of the strawberry into the bundle too now. So you're going to take a bite from the strawberry, and the part that's left over, invite you to come and put it into the middle of the bundle as the feast that you're sharing with the loved one that you thought of, or the grief that you carry. But also now what you're sharing with Mojijing Manado, the spirit of this lake. So invite someone to pass the berries around. So like I say, take a berry and take a bite, and then leave, put the other part into the middle of the bundle as your contribution to the feast, feasting the spirit.
They haven't held tobacco yet.
I'm going to do that last. Okay, is that okay? Psst. Pause. Psst. Look at me, Rob. In this song, we sing an invitation to the spirit of who you're thinking about to come and share in this feast. And the spirit of the lake now to come and share in this berry that you're going to put in the middle. We invite them to come here and share with that. Share with us in this moment, this small but meaningful feast of the first berry of this month, Odamanagizis, the heartberry moon we call it. We're sharing this very first one that gives us life. So we send this song out for them to come and join us in this feast. As humble and as pitiful as it is, we invite those spirits to come here and share in this time with us. Way away da, way away da, way away da, way away da, away da, away da, way away da, way away da, way away da, way away da, away da, away da, way. Way Yahweh, 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 Request, Lord Jean. So we're going to invite you to come up and put your berry down. Add it to the bundle. And come and take a pinch of tobacco as you go back to your seat. And this tobacco is going to be for Gojijing, for your lake. All the kindness that you possess, for the life you've been given on its shores, that's what this tobacco is for. Whether you want to wish Thanksgiving, whether you want to wish for a jackpot at the casino. Just kidding. You're welcome. This first part, we've taken care of our grieving. Thinking, send thoughts for those. This one now is for a new life that comes from the lake, a life that comes for you. Yeah.
Take one for somebody else.
Yep, you can. Oh.
Okay.
Oh. So with this tobacco now, I'm speaking to the spirit of the lake, Gujijing. It translates into a safe harbor, a safe place. It's probably been used like that for longer than we can remember. The people have come and stayed on its shores and found safety there. So we put our minds in this tobacco. Put your good mind into the shining water here, the well-being of the lake, all the animals that swim in it, all the animals that drink from it, including ourselves, the human beings. We put our minds that way with this tobacco. And then we're going to sing a song for this, that you see a beautiful life coming your way. This is my favorite song in the whole world. It says, I see a beautiful life coming at me, is what it says. It says that over and over again. So on this beautiful day we gathered here for this ceremony, we can walk away from here knowing that life is good. We've taken care of this beautiful lake in a good way. So while you hold your tobacco, I'll sing this song. Zage weon mede weganing, Zage weon mede weganing, Zage weon mede weganing, Zage weon mede weganing. Zage weon mede weganing, 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 Zage weon mede weganing. So now I invite you now to put your tobacco down in the bundle for the good life of this beautiful lake. The beautiful water that flows in your body too. I almost forgot to mention that. We're made up of water too. What's that?
Down this
In there?
Yeah, so that was probably a grandfather.
Yeah. Grandfather must be a memory.
It'll be again, yeah. I don't know if that's yours. So with the, are you going to pull out the side so people can tie it?
And you're going to get the 4 youngest to tie it.
But it's now folded in half, so there's no edge.
Yeah, we'll need 4 people to tie it this time. This way. Because it's doing it with Zalghetto. Because we did all the levels already. Putting them down. Yeah. Yeah, that's the last time you have to get up. So just, we're going to put this together now. This is being done in a different way than last year. We laid out the colors as a community. We talked about when your spirit came from the spirit world to this place. It came down through those colors that those 9 colors that we lowered. Purple, black, white, yellow, orange, dark blue, light blue, green, and then red. So that's what our spirit sees as we come to this life. So we laid this out here because of Zalghetto, and especially this day and age, what we're going through right now around the world. There's so much divisiveness, And even here in our indigenous communities, there are people who aren't being friendly to Métis people right now. We're infighting over false things. We're forgetting that the Creator created us as one being. And there's a lot of strife around the world because we've gotten away from that understanding. So we're doing it this way. We're doing this with love today. So you see the color your bundle is. It's all love here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask them in a minute if they're not too shy. The youngest ones come here. Those children who are here to come and put this bundle together. And your parents and those of you who are older, if you want to come and support them, we'll help them do that. Because they're our future. Our prophecy says there will come a children of the 7th fire. And that's us. We're in the 7th fire of that prophecy all around the world. It said the people of the 7th fire, they will make a way possible for the children of the 8th fire to be born. And it says the children of the 8th fire will know eternal peace. It's what that prophecy says. So whenever we do something like this with love and devotion, hope for the future, that it's a good one, it's these ones here that will carry that forward. But I'd like to remind people, the 8th fire, it's not going to happen in a big flash. All of a sudden, children aren't going to be born with a number 8 on their forehead. They're already being born. Some of you are children of the 8th fire. Some of you, you've known in the hardship of life, maybe you felt like you don't belong in this time. Maybe in your memories you remember a kinder time, a kinder life. So we say that the Creator, doesn't just do things in a big flash, that bit by bit it returns in a good way. So I'm going to ask these young ones to come up now, and those of you who are older who support them to come and stand with them as we put this together. And Aaron and Lori Jean are going to help you. Okay, can we have the young ones come up? Okay, you can put this one in there. You can put this one in there. You can put this one in there. Okay. You can put this one in there. Okay. And I want you to hold on to these, okay? Because we're going to need them later. these ones here. Okay. So if you want to come and gather around the bundle here, Lori, Jean, and Aaron will help you put them corner to corner like that. Okay, put those rocks in first. Yep. And those are for our future. Now we will have one. Okay. Okay, if you could tie those together as best you can. That was pretty thick, eh? But try as best you can to tie them together. Okay, good. Oh, good job. You've done this before, eh? Okay, bring the sticks here. Put one stick like this. Put one stick like that. Yeah, just lay it on top. Yeah, and the other one crosswise. There we go. Just like that, yeah. Okay, we need someone who has bushcraft. Someone come up and just tie it together. There's twine here. Use as much as you need. However you want to wrap it, these sticks are going to make that 4 directions on them. Use as much as you feel. Wrap it up good. Use too much rather than not enough. So the rest of us, if we could move in the inside circle here as best we can, fill up all the chairs. If we could all be on the inside circle for this next part. This has been a really good day for me, eh? I've been able to boss people around. In my home, I don't get to do that. Yeah, move on the inside here if you can. Give that to them when they're ready. I hope it's sharp. Okay. Oh, nice. Maybe you can all come and stand here so Ted can take a picture. Photo op. He's over there. Miigwech. Okay, you sit back down. We're almost there. Do you have your leadership here? Yeah, we can ask them to come up.
Those from the leadership team on this committee, Gloria, Red, Irving, anybody who is kind of representative.
Yeah.
Chris?
What we're going to do is we're going to pick up the bundle now, and we're going to bring it to you, and you can hold it, and then you pass it. It's important that everybody gets to put their love into the bundle. Eh? Anything you're wishing for, you know, for the lake, for the world, put your wishes into the bundle. You can hold it as long as you want. But just hold it for a while, then pass it to the person on your left. Eh? If you pass it to the person on your right, that means you're Mohawk. So we're going to ask the leadership to pick the bundle up as best they can, and when they lift it up, big cheer. Okay? So whenever you guys are ready. Okay, bring them over here. Bring her over there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Should I ask that man or me?
You, whoever. Miigwech. So back in the old days, what we would do is we would make a line, we'd go all the way down to the lake. We'd pass it, we'd run to the next part. We call it caterpillar. You'd be a caterpillar going all the way down to the lake. But it's kind of far away from here. So we've got a canoe down there. We're going to go down there, and Ted's going to throw it in the water again this year. You should have seen him last year. It looked really good. He held it way up like this so everybody could see it, then he put it into the water. It was a beautiful sight. We're going to do that same thing. But right now, the bundle is coming around to you to hold it, to put your love into it. Anything you're wishing for, and then the beautiful lives that we carry, world peace, your health, the health of others, and this all goes into the sacred water. The water wants to help us. That's why we have tears. And Nebe gives us tears so we can be cleansed and we can be healthy. So in this way, we're returning the favor with this bundle. And this is a beautiful thing. This is the second time we've done it here from St. Paul's. So just pass it along there and put your good thoughts into it. Get me which Kanoya. Get me which Kakinagego Gigi tone. Meanwhile, me which to get Kakinagego Gigi Kandan. It meanwhile, Benogia Koma, get me which Ki Bajak. Meanwhile, Miss Holmes Nanak, no Miss Nanak, which Ki Bajak no gum. Get me meanwhile, Miss Holmes, no Miss Oma. Me wish to get Kakinagego Gigi Kandan. I get new Nick cake, Wabinado, Jaunado, Giwenado, and Gaminado, Giged Aki Kwe. I keep thinking that's the Indian affairs sending the police after us for doing this ritual. And we hope everybody's safe in that, where they're going. Anyway, say me wish for this bundle. I want to thank you all for coming here and sharing this today, everything that you do and everything that you know. I want to thank the young people, the children, for being here with us today, giving us that hope for the future, participating in this ceremony. Give them thanks. I'm going to finish my part with this song. This song is called Prophecy Song. It says, let's get going. Let's get our act together. There's new people coming behind. It talks about young people. So as older people, to be in a good way so that they can follow us. And even in our lodges, our children aren't coming as much as they used to. So like I said, it's so good to see children here today. It's a good sign that what's happening is good. So I'm going to finish with this song, and I'm going to turn it over to Ted to give us what's going to happen next. So think about yourself in a good way in this song. All your gifts, everything that you do, that is good for yourself and the people around you. Ombe majara jibwa biraban kenamagomen anak nagegobamen kenamagomen anak nagegobamen ombe majara jibwa viraban kenamagomen anak nagegobamen kenamagomen anak nagegobamen ombe majara jibwa viraban kenamagomen anak nagegobamen kenamagomen anak nagegobamen ambe majara jibwa viraban kenamagomen anak nagegobamen kenamagomen anak nagegobamen. Oh, get miigwech kenwea, get miigwech to get kenegego, gikendan. Ah, miigwech.
Miigwech, to you, our three spirit leaders in this sacred ceremony. This has been, as usual, a profound way to celebrate being together in community, to bring our sorrows and our hopes together in this bundle. And so we ask for Creator's blessing as offered in this, and we give thanks for all of you who have brought your good spirit into this room and offered that to creators. Goodness in the world as we yearn for peace and for caring and for justice and for hope that is represented in this bundle. So we will now carry that bundle. We now can walk straight to the Gojijing. We don't have to go around the shopping center any longer, and we can walk directly down to the shore. And Alan and Gloria have their canoe on the roof to help us take the bundle out. So for any who would like to make the journey to Gojijing, you're welcome to join the procession as we walk down there. Otherwise, thank you again for being here. It has been a blessed time of celebration together. So be it.